This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich, founder of Abich Financial Services.
Is there a sweet spot on when to do a Roth conversion? Some say yes. We have obviously here on this podcast and on your radio program talked about the benefits of Roth conversions, Abe, but the question of when should you do them is the lingering question for a lot of people. Financial author Sean Mullaney was telling Morningstar that there is a sweet spot, and he says it's between ages 66 to 69. This is Sean Mullaney.
So these 4 years, the world tends to be our oyster. And during these 4 years, we have a high standard deduction. And we now have the senior deduction. Now that's quote unquote temporary for 4 years. We'll see if that is really temporary or not. But regardless, these 4 years tend to be the best Roth conversion years because we don't have required income. We could delay Social Security. We're not managing for premium tax credit. These are the 4 years I think most retirees should be most thinking about Roth conversions.
All right. So asking you, Mr. Financial Advisor, is it really that simple?
Is there a sweet spot for when to do Roth conversions? I believe the answer is yes. I don't know about those 4 years. I think those 4 years could be part of the sweet spot, but I think the sweet spot in general is anywhere from your early 60s to late 60s when your income is the lowest. When one spouse has retired or both spouses have retired, the working paycheck is gone or substantially reduced from full-time to part-time. You have not yet started taking Social Security. You have not yet started RMDs at 73 and beyond. And in the future, your income's only going to continue to grow and go up. Sean was right that 66 to 69 is a good, age range to consider. And I would even add to that between 60 to 62 and 69. It all depends on when you're retiring, right? We just helped a couple the other day that are 62 and 60. Retiring at the end of this year. So I would say that window, whatever that is for you, could be a great window to consider because your income's only going to go up in the future. So that window when your income is the lowest is when you want to be considering Roth conversions. Got
it. All right. So when doing a Roth conversion, this is the second layer to the as I so uneloquently call it, the why, the how. When we want to make the Roth conversion, so many people try to DIY it and make mistakes. So what are common mistakes you see?
Well, I think people need to stop wondering if it's right for them, Roth conversions and financial plan in general, and start planning, right? Start taking action and being proactive. So one of the most common mistakes we see and that I see when it comes to Roth conversion specifically is trying to do it on their own and trying to do the conversion on their own and then maybe making a mistake, maybe not holding, enough tax or, setting enough tax aside and cash aside to pay the tax liability. I had a gentleman come in several years ago who was a bond trader in New York for 30 to 40 years. This is a guy who knows money. This is the guy who knows investments. And one of the biggest reasons, Heather, why we have people join our firm and come on board, Abich Financial, obviously for the retirement plan, but it's for the tax component of that retirement plan. It's not just the money. It's not just the investments. It's all of the other ancillary planning components and all of the other pieces of a comprehensive retirement plan that are just as important, taxes being way at the top for a lot of people. This gentleman tried to do a Roth conversion on his own. It was a substantial Roth conversion. He bumped himself into either one or two higher tax brackets than he thought he was going to be in, which meant his tax bill was way higher than he predicted it was going to be. And he came out to one of our educational events and said, Abe, I need to come in and see you. I'm not going to do this again. And so the biggest mistake that we see people making when it comes to Roth conversions is doing it on their own. So how do we help people from making those potentially big mistakes? Is number one, we have lots of eyes looking at the conversion, right? We also recommend that when people do conversions, they're running it by their tax professional as well, CPA or accountant. But here internally at Abich Financial, we will run those conversions and all those potential conversions through our tax planning software. That's where we come up with a tax mapping report, right? And an analysis like, where are you today, Heather? What does all your income look like today? If we do a $50,000 conversion, a $100,000 conversion, how would that affect all of your other income and your taxes? So you can clearly see in a report, this is where you are today. This is the bracket you're in today. If I do this conversion over here, I'm going to be in this bracket or the same bracket, but it's going to be this extra amount of money in taxes. So you have a really good idea. And then once you talk to us about it, running it by a CPA or accountant to verify that, yes, those numbers are accurate. And yes, you should either move forward with that Roth conversion or you shouldn't, because maybe it doesn't make sense now or it does make sense. So having professionals, I think, look at it for you and just verify that those numbers are accurate is a really big part of it. And that you understand that you're prepaying taxes up front. You need to understand what you're doing. You're purposely paying tax now so that you can potentially save a ton of tax down the road, right? Having money go from a pre-tax account or bucket into post-tax, an IRA into a Roth, well, we know all the benefits and pros and cons of each. But you're electing to purposely pay tax now so that down the road, money's in a Roth IRA, can be tax-free, that can grow tax-free, pass on to your loved ones tax-free and all those things. But you need to understand the pros and cons. And then I would highly recommend not doing it on your own. In fact, we even had a consultant from a big-time consulting firm, and that's all he did was accounting the last 30 to 40 years, and he still wanted our eyes on it and wanted to run all the numbers by us and through our tax mapping software because he had his own numbers and wanted to verify them with us. So that's definitely what we recommend so you don't make any big mistakes.
Yeah. Obviously, people that are smart with money, it happens a lot. They're smart with other people's money, but they know that sometimes the emotions can creep in when it comes to their own savings and investments.
When it's your own savings and investments and your life savings, you just worked 30, 40, 50 years to build your life's savings.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you don't make big mistakes.
That's right.
And you want to protect it from all the risks that can mess up a great savings plan and a great nest egg. One of those being potentially higher taxes down the road. So you want to get that plan right. And again, a big reason we help people with this all the time, Heather, here at Abich Financial. And you can go to theretirementkey.com to learn more.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abich. To learn more about Abich Financial Services, visit theretirementkey.com and join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. Abish Financial Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor with the SEC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training, and the content of this communication has not been approved or verified by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or by any state securities authority. The information contained in this material is intended to provide general information about Abish Financial Wealth Management and its services. It is not intended to offer investment advice. Investment advice will only be given after a client engages our services by executing the appropriate investment services agreement. Information regarding investment products and services are provided solely to read about our investment philosophy and our strategies.